my husband was like, but why not try and go back on the road? And I was like, wow, but I don't know one. Now it's different. You need to know the people. You can't just email someone and get a shot. Firstly, I told my husband, maybe I can't keep up. Imagine. When I did Castelli road race in Australia, it was my first top 10 ever of the whole season. And when I finished 10th, in my mind, in the mountain bike scene or whatever, getting 10th is not good, right? But when I got my 10th position, my team was so over the moon about it that I was like, wow, okay, top 10 means something in World Tour. I don't know.
Welcome to the Castelli podcast. This week we have something special for you, an inspiring story of resilience, talent and a relentless pursuit of a dream. Our guest is a rising star in the Women's World Tour, whose journey to the top has been anything but ordinary. She's a proof that with talent and determination, incredible heights are within reach, no matter when you start. Court Pienaar turned pro at the age of 27. When many riders have already established themselves in the peloton, yet she wasted no time making her mark. In her debut season, she claimed a stage win at the Giro d'Italia Women and represented her country at the Paris-Roubaix. She also competed in some of the toughest one-day races and raced 2 Grand Tours. Just 18 months ago, she was riding without a team, but through a twist of fate, she landed a contract with AG Insurance Sudal for the 2024 season and suddenly found herself racing the Northern Classics, the Bergs of Flanders and the brutal couples of Roubaix, where she finished 10th, less than 4 months after turning pro, and achieving a stunning 5th place at this year's Milano-San Remo. Originally from Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, Kim also calls South Africa and Girona her home. Her journey from mountain biking to competing in the Women's World Tour on Europe's most punishing roads is nothing short of extraordinary. In this episode, we dive into her transition from mountain biking to road racing, her first-hand experience at the Tour of Flanders, and what it's really like to ride the legendary Flemish couples and miss the electric atmosphere of the Ronde. And trust me, by the end of this episode, you'll be adding Mauritius to your bucket list. Kim has a special treat in store for you. This episode was actually recorded before the start of Kim's 2025 season, right after an off-season spent recovering from a wrist surgery. So without further delay, sit back, kick your feet up, tune in and get ready to be inspired. Let's all welcome Court Pienaar on the Castelli podcast. You have had one heck of a season, as we talked about before. Congratulations on that, and congratulations on everything that happened. Unfortunately, you also had to end your season a little earlier.
Yeah, I unfortunately did have to end my season early. It was supposed to be earlier, but I decided to push through because obviously Olympics and the tour was super important. But yeah, it's for the best.
So what happened? I mean, you had an injury to your wrist that needed a surgery. You had a crash at Gent-Wevelgem.
Yeah.
But you also rode all the other classic races after.
I think it's the only race I've crashed. We obviously with ligaments and stuff, we're not sure if it's caused at Ghent or if it's maybe a old injury that I've had, because I've had a really bad crash at Swiss Epic last year on the mountain bike. And sometimes you can tear a ligament and not feel it straight away, but it's only later on if you fall on it again, then it will activate. So we're not sure if it's then or... Because after Ghent, I didn't feel my wrist. It was okay.
Yeah.
But it's more the week after Ghent, it was recon of Flanders and Roubaix. 2 couples races, one after the other. And from those recons, I was like, whoa, something's a bit wrong in my wrist. It doesn't feel right. But for me, it's the first time I ever raced cobbles. So I thought maybe I'm not used to it. Maybe it's just my body getting used to the bounciness of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think much of it. So I raced Flanders on a little bit of... Obviously, I had to take painkillers because I was in pain and strapping. And then I raced Roubaix the weekend after. And Roubaix was really painful to the point where I could not hold my handlebar tight. I just didn't have the strength on my left wrist. And one stage on the cobble section, I almost went over the bars because I hit it so hard that I couldn't keep my body up. So then I got a really big fright, and I actually said in the radio, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's really painful. And my DS was just like, it's your call. It's up to you. We're not going to force you. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can push through, then see how you feel. And yeah, obviously I will never give up. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna stop. And luckily I didn't, because I really had a good result for myself, something I never thought I would ever have. And after that I said, I'm worried, something's really wrong. And we did some x-rays and nothing was wrong on the bones situation, so it wasn't a bone fracture or anything. Then I went to do MRI in Girona, but before that I raced Amstel Gold Race and I didn't finish. The pain was too much and I had enough. I couldn't do it anymore. So I stopped midway, and that was probably one of the hardest things I ever did. And then we got an MRI, but the MRI I did in Spain was really blurry, so we couldn't really see properly what was wrong. But I myself, physically, I knew I could handle it. It was painful, but I knew I could finish the season off. But then we got to the point where I did Giro, and it was really painful in the downhills, but I managed. Then Olympics was a one-day race, so it's okay, I can manage. The Tour was obviously difficult, but I had strapping and I knew how to deal with it. Yeah. But then the team made a call and said, listen, would you rather want to do Worlds Gravel, because I was supposed to do Gravel Road and CIMAC, and then go back home and do a surgery that takes 6 months of recovery and miss the first classics, or would you want to, skip Worlds and go now and be in shape for the classics and not miss any race? And for me, it was more important to see the bigger picture and focus on the future and out on Worlds, which was really mentally difficult. So I just made the call and went home, and I'm glad the team was really supportive of my health.
That was important, right? But it must have been, like you said, difficult, because you've gotten this one, maybe in a lifetime chance to race in the World Tour, and you made a big leap at that moment into World Tour. Had an amazing season. I think at the Tour de France Femmes, you never placed outside. Well, you had 3 top 10 finishes, and all the races you've done this year, you never placed, at least when I looked over at Pro Cycling Stats, never outside of the 25th place. And 10th at the Roubaix, having this issue with your wrist as you were talking about. So I can imagine that must have been difficult decision, but an important decision.
Yeah. It's funny because when I did Cadel Evans Road Race in Australia, it was my first top 10 ever of the whole season. And when I finished 10th, in my mind, in the mountain bike scene or whatever, getting 10th is not good, right? But when I got my 10th position, my team was so over the moon about it that I was like, wow, okay, top 10 means something in World Tour. I don't know. For me, I just want to win. That's all. That's how my mind works. And my team was so happy. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I should be happy about a top 10. Maybe it is really hard to get a top 10 in World Tour, actually. And the more the year went by, I got a 11th at Binda and I think 23rd at Strade, and it was getting better. And then I got 10th at Roubaix and 9th at Bruges de Pan, which is the flattest classic, and I'm not a person for flat classics. And then I was like, wow, top 10, wow, I'm really doing good. But the more the season went by, I was like, oh, okay, but now it's getting boring. I'm tired of getting top 10s. I'm Giro stages, like all the first stages, I was also getting top 10s. Yeah. But I was like so hungry for more. Now the top 10 is getting too common. I'm not getting as happy about a top 10 anymore. So now I was telling, and during the Giro, I was telling Jolien, but I want to win. I'm tired of getting a top 10 because they're so happy for me. Top 10. No, I want to win the race. And then it got to the point where I was getting quite a bit of top 10 as the Giro went by. And then I got sick, unfortunately, on stage 5 with heat stroke. And then I lost so much time. So when I got into the last stage, I was no pressure at all. I felt so free. And the night before, I tapped on Patrick's back and I was like, Patrick, don't worry, Today, because that day, the morning of that evening, I lost 16 minutes. It was a queen stage because I had no food in my body at all. And I said, don't worry, I'll just let everyone know that I'm dead. I'm not dead, but tomorrow I'm going to kill them. And that was the last stage. And I said it to him so confidently, but thinking I'm never going to do anything. I was just saying it. Yeah. And the morning of stage 8, I was in such a different space, just because I just felt so free. I could just race my bike and I told Jolene, I'm going to win today. And I told her in the bus. And I'm never like that. I'm not confident. And she was like, okay. And then when I won, I told Patrick, I told you. But it was not expected at all. And then coming back to Roubaix, when I got that top 10 that I was getting so bored about, I cried at the finish because I got so emotional. It's the first time I ever got so emotional because of the pain I was in and how much I had to push myself through in that race to get that result at this big, and I understand how big race that is, and I understand a top 10 at Roubaix for the first ever Roubaix is huge. So then that was the only time where I felt, whoa, that top 10 is really special. And I didn't even feel that on my first ever top 10. So yeah, it just depends on where my head's at the time. But yeah, for now, I'm really hungry for more. And now I just want podiums and wins. But of course, I had a monumental race where Flanders, I think at the 25th, obviously a top 10 would be better than what I did. Yeah. But now I know I can do better. So I'm always going to aim for more. So now it's where the dangerous part is. But yeah.
So now you signed for another 2 years till end of 2026 with the team, correct?
Yep, correct.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thanks.
That's fantastic to have you here.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to be sitting here a year and a half ago. It's crazy because I signed 1 year this year with the team initially. They gave me one chance.
And how did that come about?
Yeah, I was on the mountain bike scene for a few years, and then I've always wanted to be on the road. I've been on the road in 2015 and 2016, but it wasn't what it is today. So it was very difficult for me financially to be in Europe, and I just couldn't sustain it. Financially, I wasn't able to, and mentally. It's far from home. I was young, I was 18, and I just wasn't able to do it. But more financially than anything else. So I had to give that dream up.
And that was at the end of 2017?
2016.
16, okay. Yeah.
And then throughout the years, I've achieved a lot on the mountain bike scene. And I've won the biggest stage races you can win as a mountain bike marathon racer. And for me, I'm someone that really likes to challenge myself. I just don't want to stay in the same comfort zone the whole time because then I get bored. And yes, I could have won the Cape Epic again and again and again if I wanted to, or the Swiss Epic or whatever the case is. But it's the same race, right? It's different routes maybe, but it's the same race. And my husband was like, but why not try and go back on the road? And I was like, wow, but I don't know one. Now it's different. You need to know the people. You can't just email someone and get a shot. And he was very adamant. He's the one that actually emailed a lot of teams and reached out to people. I said, you do it. I'm too scared to get rejection. And I said, you mad? You're just wasting your time. And then finally, after really being pushy on all platforms, he got a few replies back, and in particular Natasha, who was the co-founder of the team. She reached out and we kept in contact from August last year. And then I got a call end of November last year to say, hey, yeah, you got a contract. You need to be in Calpe in a week and a half. And I was like, yeah, but I'm on my honeymoon. And then they're like, it's fine. Come a few days later. It's fine. And then in Australia in January, and I was like, whoa, okay, and then it just happened. It just snowballed very fast, very, very fast. And I had to learn very fast.
Okay, your first race was Cat 11s.
Yep.
Where you also performed really, really well at that race.
Yeah, I thought I didn't, but everyone was happy. I just think my head is so, I just put a lot of, I don't know. I need to change that maybe, but maybe not because it's working.
It is working, yeah.
But yeah, I guess I was surprised that I could keep up with a bunch. Firstly, I told my husband, maybe I can't keep up. Imagine. And yeah, it turned out well. But the team was so welcoming. And I think if you're happy in the space and you're mentally in a good space, then your body will just follow. Yeah. For me, the mental is really important. And coming from Mauritius, we are born in Mauritius, but living in South Africa, the culture is so different to Europe. And I could relate to my Australian teammates in New Zealand because we same culture, and so that helped a lot. But the team in general, being a European team, I felt like at home straight away, so that helped.
Also because a European team, you have nationalities from all over the world, but also with Ashley Molman Pasio, also from South Africa. Because you moved to South Africa when you met your husband, probably boyfriend back then, or what was it? How did that come?
Yeah, I met him in 2014, so it's 11 years now, going next year. I moved officially to South Africa in 2017. Wow, so before that, I was obviously in Europe, back and forth. So it was Mauritius, South Africa. It was all over the show. Yeah. But I moved for good in 2017 to South Africa. Then I've been there ever since.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's very nice.
Yeah.
No, it is very nice. I really like it. Obviously, there's a lot of pros and cons, like any country. Value for money is great. The food's great. Wine's great. Weather's good.
But how often do you actually get to go back to South Africa? Because racing for European team, with all the racing happening here, that's why you got yourself a place also in Girona, which also had to, you had to find a place really quick.
So I get to go off season. So normally in end of October, obviously back and forth, there's team days. And if I want to go somewhere for a mental break with my husband, which I did, we went to Botswana, then we can go. But I would be home quite a bit.
Okay.
4 months, less than I'm in Europe.
Yeah.
And in May, I do come back for 3 weeks. So I can go back home for 3 weeks and then go back. So I have a bit of time as well to be home.
No, that's good for you.
But I've made my place in Girona home. I have to. You have to be comfortable and you have to feel like home. Like I said, mental space is very important to me.
Are you downtown Girona or just a little bit outside like Ashley?
No, I mean, I'm in downtown, but not in the old town, just outside. I don't like being in the busy or noisy place. I just want to be quiet.
Yeah. I like out there in Banyoles where Carl and Ashley have their place.
They've built their place. I've actually never been yet.
Oh, no.
So
okay. Well, you should. Go for a ride.
She's told me I must come for a coffee but I just never end up doing it yet.
It's so nice out there. I mean, both road cycling, gravel, mountain biking, trail running, everything, anything, you name it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, I still need to experience a bit more. This year was a bit...
I'm a huge fan of Ashley Rokakorba and everything she and Carl, they do. It's, I mean, there are business people, but, creating a community with everything that is more going towards a bigger goal, within
the bigger
cycling,
picture.
The bigger picture, exactly.
No, for sure. It's nice. It's really nice. It's nice that she's made a home from it as well for her. It's important.
Is Strade like one of the top races on your bucket list to win one day?
One day.
Which one is the biggest, or one is the dream race to win one day? Sounds like you got a few.
Yeah, I actually have a few. So for sure, Milan-San Remo, probably a good target for me. I don't want to put it out there. I don't like the pressure of it all. But yeah, for sure it's a first edition. Everyone wants it. Yeah. Every team wants it.
It's a monument.
And it suits me well as a rider. But yeah, I know I can perform well at the other classics such as Flanders or Roubaix if luck is on my side. Liège is a very interesting stage, a race, because we did it in the Tour this year and it's the first time I ever rode it in my life in the Tour de France stage, and I had a really good result and I really liked the climbs. It suited me really well as a rider. But yeah, I mean, in the future for sure I would like to look at GC stuff, but not yet. I just want to focus and take small steps at a time. But yeah, I mean, Strade in the future for sure. It's a nice race. Coming from the mountain bike background,
that's what I want to say.
It's an interesting race, but it's more of a growth towards the, I wouldn't say bigger classics, but the Belgium classics.
The good ones to hang on your palmares.
I mean, I should be saying world champs, but I'm already wearing a world champs. No, if I had to win worlds one day, it wouldn't be like, oh my word, this jersey's so nice, because I already have it on my back. But yeah, obviously there's those races, but everyone has that on their list. But yeah, I still want to win another. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I want to win everything. I really do.
Keep that going.
Do.
Exactly.
And I'm so excited about everything that there's not really a race, because I've done everything. I've not done everything so many times that I'm like, yeah, this one is really something I want. For now, I'm really want to taste everything.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, you're not new to cycling, but you're new to European professional road cycling here. You know, you're new to the world tour.
Yeah.
You've had a fantastic seasons. It must have been nerve-wracking, like when you were lining up to the first couple classics in the rain, maybe, you know, and the wet and
Flanders.
cold.
Oh my word, yeah. I was hectic.
Tell me a little bit about that, like that steep learning curve.
It was crazy. It really was. And to be honest, leading up to Flanders, the girls were so excited about the race that I just couldn't understand. Why? What is it about this race that everyone is making such a big thing? Like even the DS and the teams, it's such a big thing. And I was like, well, why? It's just another race. And that's how I went into the race, with the mental of it's just another race. And when I got to the race, then I understood, because Belgians are, they are extreme, but in a good way. And then I understood how they shut down the whole country for the race, like really.
National holiday.
Yeah. And then I understood how important it is to do good at the race. But I also, maybe why I performed like I did is maybe because I went in it not thinking too much about it. You know, I was just racing my bike like another race. But one thing I'll always remember is when I went up the cobbles at the end, really at the end, is when there's so many people. Yeah. Like I don't even remember the name of the climbs. I just was riding, just following the wheels. There's so many people next to you, but so close. They're screaming in your face, which was amazing. I don't even like remember half of it because I was so in the pain cave. Yeah. I could smell the alcohol of them. Like they were so drunk, all of them, and you could smell the beer. And that's one thing I'll never forget. I was like, the first thing I told my husband was like, the alcohol on the climb. I was like, you know, when someone drank a lot and you can smell it, that was one thing I smelled really strong. Yeah. Not something you would want to smell if you're on the limit, but it's really, but it's an insane experience. Like, wow. After the race, I was like, oh, that is the hardest thing I've ever done. Like harder than Roubaix, harder than, like I was really, and people were saying, no, Roubaix is not, for me it wasn't. Flanders was.
What Flanders there with the hardcore cycling fans along the course, as you said, with the amazing VIP hospitality tents and people just arriving there early in the morning, drinking beers, cheering and waiting for you guys to show and race. And like you said, I mean, also when talking to Casper Asgreen and he won Flanders. Yep. And it's even stronger for a Belgian athlete or a Belgian person. I mean, you become the king of Flanders for 1 year. Yes. And everywhere you go, things go into a bar for a coffee or a beer or something. Everything is just offered to you because you are the king of Flanders. I mean, it is something very special to them.
I can imagine.
And for the team, just like, especially for the Quick Step team, there's always been the classic team and probably the most Belgian team of all Belgian teams, you know, so.
Yeah, that's why it's obviously important for them. Yeah. Because we're a Belgian team, so.
Do you think some of your mountain bike skills have helped you on the couple classics and especially the Roubaix?
Yeah, I think so. I do think so. But also I've noticed in Strade, for instance, like in the downhills, in the gravels, I would be much more comfortable than a lot of the girls going downhills in the cornering and things. So I did notice that. But yeah, I do think in the cobbles or jumping things or, for sure it plays a little bit of a role. Actually, a teammate yesterday asked me, because I jumped this pothole on the training route, and she's like, do you think being a mountain bike helps you? And Maybe I've got the skill. Maybe I don't know, but I would say probably, because you have to miss a lot of rocks when you're on the mountain bike.
Plus, I think with mountain biking, just like cyclocross, you look at Mathieu van der Poel, Wout van Aert, Tadej Pogacar also, coming from cyclocross when he was younger, Pidcock. Those guys, you just see that way that they handle their bike and just keep gaining time and saving energy on the descents, just the way that they're cutting corners and just feeling smooth and it with the bike, you know. So it's definitely something I think all kids, if growing up within the world of cycling, this should definitely they should always have fun. Yeah. The most important, and then do a little bit of off-road or track cycling is also really good.
But in the beginning of the season, I was really nervous in the bunch because I'm not used to riding in the bunch. Yeah. And my teammates were like, but you come from mountain bike, you should be fine. But I'm like, but if I go down a downhill on the mountain bike, the rocks don't move in front of you. You know, you go around the rocks. Yeah. But now you go in the bunch and there's people everywhere and you have to
had to kind of read the race
and trust.
Yeah.
I mean, if you crash, you crash. You
Yeah.
know, I got to the point where if you crash, you crash. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, I was like, yeah, you don't get it. I'll put you on the mountain bike and I'll send you down the downhill and you go do it. Like it's a complete different discipline. Yeah. You have to re-teach your brain how to handle the road bike and at a speed. Because on a mountain bike, you won't go 100 km an hour down. Yeah. It's not the same. But yeah, it was okay. I'm still learning.
It would be nice if you already beforehand could go out there and do it, which some of the teams are, but go into details like you would go and look for the perfect line when you do the recon of the descent on a mountain bike. You could do that on the Roubaix couple sectors, but there are just so many. But at least if there is something, a big pothole or something that is off, it's usually something that you would always keep in mind. But it's not just difficult when you're in the big group of other riders.
At least our DSs are good. They tell us, hey, there's something coming up. Stay on the right.
Yeah.
So that's good.
First season, AG Insurance, being part of something bigger. As a mountain biker, you're the team. You know, you got your own sponsors and everything, but being part of something bigger, having access to a nutritionist, to a coach, to, I mean, you name it, mechanics on yours and everything. How was that, coming into this environment?
Overwhelming. Because at first I was so used to doing everything by myself. So wash my own bottles, wash my own bike, I don't know, take my own kit to the laundry. So in the beginning I was doing it and then they're like, no, but you can leave it there. And then I kind of had to learn with my teammates. Yeah. But the staff also liked it because it kind of keeps you humble. I don't want to change that because that's what I've known. In the mountain bike, you'll have one mechanic and one manager and then your teammate if you do a stage race. So you're a small group, 5 maybe max. In a big stage race, 7-day Cape Epic, you won't have 30 staff and 18 riders, and it's a lot. It's a lot, but I love it. It's like a big family. I really like the ambiance of it all. I had to learn everything, who to talk to for that, who to reach out for that, and know that everyone's there for you. And I mustn't be shy to just ask for help and advice because they're there to give advice. Yeah. So it was a learning process and it still is. But I love the whole family vibe of it. It's really cool. Yeah.
But did everything just click into place from the beginning? Also with the other riders, getting to know everyone and...
Yeah, I think I liked everyone and I'm really close to a few of them. Yeah, for sure. Everything was fine. Of course, at the beginning, I'm a really shy person. It doesn't seem like it, but I'm quite reserved. Yeah. So for me, it was hard the Europeans are very out there. And for me, it was hard to adapt to that. But now I'm more comfortable and it was really fast. Like I said, I felt at home really, really quick and that helped with my riding. It just showed.
Nice. I noticed there on your wrist there before that you have a small tattoo.
Yeah, I've got 2.
So one is a symbol of a cyclist, to explain to our listeners, and the other one?
It's a cross.
Cross. And
there's
the reason,
a story behind it.
Can I ask you the question? Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it's very much, some people will, So the cyclist is my brother and I have the same tattoo on the same hand. Okay. So we've done it together. And the cross, that I did it at the same time because I had a really bad crash when I was in junior. I fell on my face training for junior world champs mountain bike, and I don't remember what happened, but I took a selfie of myself on my BlackBerry, and obviously I had to turn it around to take the picture, and somehow I must have looked at it, but I don't remember because the next morning in the hospital my BlackBerry still had a bit of blood on it and whatever, and I went through the pictures and there was a selfie of how I looked, but it was because I was spitting so much blood. I had a cut. I have a big cut under my nose. You don't see it well, but sometimes you will. And I've got 2 stitches here, and inside my mouth 102 stitches. Yeah, so it was in my lip. So this went all the way through, in my lip all the way to the back, and then at the bottom all the way to the back. And it was cut not smooth, but really because of all the rocks. Yeah. So I had that big crash.
Were you alone? Or was somebody who could...
I was alone. I was completely alone, and I was, 16, 15. And in the picture, I had my helmet on. But when I got home, no helmet. Because it was, in the picture, you can see it was back And it was probably strange, so I just probably took it off, can't remember. And I phoned my mom. That's the only thing I remember. I phoned my mom and I said, obviously in tears, I said, I crashed. And she's like, where are you? I come fetch you. And I said, I don't know. I don't know where I am, but I'm coming. And I just cut the phone. Yeah. And my Garmin GPS from where I fell to home was a route I never took ever in my life, which was strange. And during that time, from when I crashed to home, I felt like I was getting guided. I can't explain it. But all I had to do was to pedal. Like that was just making myself move. But the rest, I wasn't seeing anything. I was just getting guided home. And as soon as I got 25 meters to my gate, I woke up like I was awake. 100. And from there, I remember everything. Super strange. So in that feeling of, the story makes me so emotional because it's like, it
is very emotional.
It's something I don't like talking about because a lot of people can judge. But it's from that moment, it's a feeling I cannot explain. Yeah. And since then, it's maybe cringy or whatever, but I decided I know someone's looking after me. Just felt like it. And that's why I did it. It's nothing like I'm not someone to put in people's faces, but I just felt like I was getting, I don't know what it is, but I was getting guided and I'm protected and I'm, someone's
protected,
looking up. So that is a story,
I think we all have this guardian angel that is looking after us. I'm a big believer in that myself because there are things that happens in life that you're like, just like your story, how could this all end this way? That actually did. It's just like yourself.
I mean, it's like you get brought up. Everyone has different religion, but you get brought up believing in what you've gotten brought up in believing. But it's always like, I wish I could know. Is it, I wish I could, yes, of course we believe it's real, but I want to feel it. And that's the first and only time I've ever felt it. For me, it was a really good, nice moment. And it was hard to explain to my family. And it was crazy that I just woke up straight away when I saw my mom. But I'm fine. I'm looking, this is not how I look actually now.
No, that's no, it's a very touching story. Are you okay for me leaving this in the podcast?
That's fine.
Yeah. No, actually, I was referring to the other tattoo you have on your wrist. I didn't even see that one with the cross. That one,
That's for one day.
I don't know how many tattoos you have. You could take a whole day maybe to go through them all.
No, that's the only ones. That's for one day when I've got Alzheimer. And it's my parents and brother birthdays. I wanted something that I have my family with me. It's just their birthdays and it's obviously forever infinity. And
love it. Nice one. No, that was the one I was
It's one day when I'm really old and I'm like, it's my brother's birthday today.
I mean, that's something we, unfortunately, I cannot speak for everyone, but
and I've got a massive dragon on my back. No, no, that's it.
Nice. I like that. I really like that. Kim, now I completely got off where I wanted to go next because the tattoo thing just came like, boom, very spontaneous. Going to the Olympics, because that was your first Olympic Games and representing a small country. How many athletes? From the cycling part?
Cycling part? Yeah. Three. One mountain bike, one road men, one road woman. Very cross-country mountain bike. One woman. The men road race was the first time in history that we qualified, so that was really special. And one spot on the woman road.
And I guess supporting staff must have been one person.
One person. Yeah, we fought a lot for that. It's difficult. As you know, every government is difficult. I'm sure Belgium is less in the cycling world.
Yeah.
But obviously the financial side of things for Mauritius is harder. We don't have as much. So it's very restricted. I didn't have a mechanic, no soigneur, no nothing. So it was very small, very fast. We used to be going to the Olympics for the cycling just to participate. And this was the first time we had someone with a possible chance of a medal. So it was a really big thing. Unfortunately, my Olympics didn't go as planned, but very hungry for the next one.
For the next one, yeah.
Because it's a course that suited me really, really well, and I believe that I would have had a huge chance of a medal, and to have a medal for such a small country.
It's gonna be first time.
No, not the first time.
Really?
But in the cycling, yes.
Yeah, no, cycling.
Oh yeah. Cycling, yes. I mean, even getting
Top
even
10?
finishing would be the first time.
Wow.
Yeah. Was really huge for cycling. So basically, we've always gone because we've had points. Yeah. But this time was really a big chance.
Must be something special.
Yeah.
Representing your own country, but then a small country, and
I'm
also
really
where
proud.
budgets, I assume, are limited
Yeah.
for sending people. And
No, I'm really proud, and the support I've gotten from the country is beyond expectations. I didn't think they were so patriotic, but wow, even people that doesn't do any sports, they are so supportive.
yeah, that's great.
And I don't think I would have had the mindset I've had and the motivation without, obviously, my family and friends, but my country.
Yeah.
And the hardest part was, as you may know, my Olympics ended really early as everything started in the race. I had to ride up the cobbles climb to go back to the finish. And that was the hardest thing I've ever done. I was probably in tears from there to the finish because I saw so many Mauritian flags.
Oh.
And they were there just for me because I was the only woman in the race. And that was very touchy because you've never seen this in the past before.
Yeah.
So that was hard. It was hard to feel like I've let down the country, let down myself, let down the team, AG, let down Mauritius, everyone that supported me. But I know that they still support me and they're looking forward to the next phase.
And everyone knows that not all days are the same. I mean, you have an off day or a crash can happen or something unexpected can happen. But think about those people also. Maybe they took the whole trip from Mauritius to Paris. Maybe they were already on holidays in Europe, but no matter what, I mean, it's huge, coming and cheering.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, there's a few Mauritians that lives in Paris and there's people that flew for it. But it's just still, I mean, back then they would be in Paris or in whatever country, but not go watch, because maybe they felt like, why? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But before talking about how big cycling is in Mauritius, let's first... I mean, you always heard about Mauritius, you look at these beautiful beach photos. And I mean, if I was living in Mauritius, maybe the first 1 or 2 weeks, apart from riding my bike, go for a run maybe, or do some mountain biking, I'll probably be sitting on the beach and sipping coconut and just watching the ocean. That's my dream. I don't know if that's reality in Mauritius.
You could.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
So, but let's first give our listeners, because of course I also had to Google up exactly where the island is on the map. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry about that. Let's give a listen.
So where's Italy?
Well, like what happened to me once, driving from Canada to the US. So they're at the border, showing my Danish passport, and the lady there, oh, I know that little village there up in the north of Sweden. I was like, are you talking about Denmark? It's a country, right?
There we go. You know how it feels.
So there might be other people here on the podcast who don't know or who have to Google where Mauritius is on the map. So why don't you try to explain to our listeners where they can find Mauritius on the map?
Okay, so I would say if you look at Africa, if you're standing towards it and you look at it, there's Madagascar on the right.
Yeah.
And then you have to zoom.
Yeah, because Madagascar, I looked them up,
it's big. Yeah. But then you have to zoom in to the right side of Madagascar and you'll find 2 dots. And then there's Réunion Island and then there's Mauritius, but you have to zoom. Sometimes they sell you the maps and it's not even on there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Ouch.
It's rude. Yeah.
And Mauritius is a country.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah. People think I'm world champion. But hey, what was invented first? Mauritius or world champion of the UCI? Mauritius. So technically, they're copying us. Exactly. Yeah. So then you have to zoom in and we're there. And then you'll love it. If you see it and you come, you'll want to come again. But
I might want to settle there one day because everything I've seen on photos looks amazing, stunning. How's riding there?
Yeah, it's okay. It's nice. But when I go, my parents follow me all the time.
Because of the
just
the
in case
traffic?
cars,
Okay.
just safety in general. It's in terms of theft or criminal, it's not bad, but it's more the cars safety. The people, the culture is not the same for sports than Europe. So my parents doesn't want to risk it, and I think the risk is too high, and they follow me and they love it because I don't see them often. And for them, spending 5 hours in the car following me, and I stop here and there to get a Coke or whatever the case is.
Then you can also
they're
have
with
a chat
me and they really enjoy it. They really do. I'll do intervals up and down this climb, and he'll drive up, down, up.
Oh,
and
nice.
I say, just stop in the middle of the... No. They absolutely love it. And I'm blessed to have parents
That's
that
cool.
support that much. But yeah, they follow me, so I feel safe. It's not that bad. If you know where you're going and you live there, it's okay. But as a girl, wouldn't be recommended to go ride by yourself. Just precaution. I've never had anything happen. But I think now the stakes are too high for me to have something happen.
Yeah. What about when you were younger riding mountain bike? You out there on the trails all alone.
Yep.
What about today?
I feel like it might have changed a little bit. I have friends of mine from Mauritius that had not things happen to them, but close calls.
Okay.
With motorbikes following them and, things that could happen. I mean, if you're in the wrong space at the wrong time, it could happen. I'm sure things like that happen in Europe as well, but it's just precautions. Yes, I used to do it back then, but maybe we didn't know how bad it could be. We didn't see it back then. And now my parents there's not a chance they don't want to follow me. So I don't know if it changed. I haven't lived in Mauritius for years, but from what I've heard from my friends, I'd rather take the safe way.
Yeah, that's probably also better. I mean, I have 2 friends in South Africa. I mean, the area where they live in South Africa, they told me kind of the same story. Just nothing probably happens, but it's just good to have a follow car.
Yeah.
Just in case.
But even in Europe, if I can get a following car, I would have a following car if it's a choice.
Yeah. So we have been zooming a lot to find the island there on the map. How big is it? I mean, how many kilometers? Could you actually ride it in a day? Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's about 200. I'm not sure. I've actually never done it yet. 280 something Ks.
Okay.
Around.
Yeah.
And my friends do it often. And it will probably take them, I don't want to say it, and then they're like, no. If I'm not mistaken, 8 hours or maybe less, something like that. I don't know. It depends how fast you want to go.
So that's along the coastal line?
Yeah, all around on the coastline. I'm not sure. Maybe it's faster. I'll just say it takes 5 hours. But I'm actually not sure. I've never done it. But you can ride around for sure. They do it as training.
Nice.
But I've never done it. I should do it one day. So it's small, but overpopulated.
What's the population?
I think now it's 1.2, 1.3, which is a lot for a small.
It is a lot.
It's really a lot.
Yeah.
Like when I was young, really young, because I'm still young, it was maybe about 1 million. So it's really overpopulated, and you can feel it when you drive. The traffic's horrendous, and the infrastructure, the roads, it's getting better, but it's still not there.
Do you also find any longer climbs? You said before when you do like efforts on climbs, you had to go back and forth, but could you also find a 10-kilometer climb, or how big are the mountains there?
Yeah, you can go up. So altitude is not high, but you can go, I would probably say there's 3 good climbs that you can go, mountains that finishes 15, 17 Ks, and maybe a little bit longer from the other side, or shorter. I'm not 100% sure of the Ks, but the one is very steep. It's like you go up to 25 or 27 or something degrees at one point. Really steep, beautiful climb, and I do go there often if I go train in Mauritius to do my intervals. It's really stunning. They are big climbs. At the moment, they are doing constructions on the one climb, so that's closed. But they are climbs. It's not Italy and it's not Girona or whatever. But it's beautiful. It is nice. There is climbs to train if you want to do training, just not altitude.
Right.
And you might ride the same road often, but it's okay. It's nice. It's worth it when you're off the bike and you can go to the beach and tan for 5 hours.
Have you ever played any beach sports surfing or
No.
I don't know, water
Soccer,
which is also, I assume, also the national sport, like just like in any other country, is
they
it?
do
Or
it
is
a
it
lot.
rugby?
No, rugby and soccer and horse racing.
Oh,
Yeah, big in horse racing.
have you tried it yourself?
No. No, they're like, you need to be a jockey and it's like betting and it's big. But my dad used to have horses and we used to go watch when I was small. So that was nice. But no, I was into soccer, really big soccer fan. I almost chose soccer instead of cycling. There was a point where I got offered a bursary to go to the States for soccer when I was 15 or 16. And yeah, at this age, from a small country, you're super scared to go to the States.
Yeah.
And I chose cycling.
And you had already started cycling.
Yeah, a little bit, but very small, like just riding. But because my whole family was in it, I was like, oh, it's the easier option.
Because your brother, was he also a cyclist?
Yeah,
or?
older brother, 3 years. We're very close. He was also racing a lot in France until he had quite a bad crash a few years back. Almost lost his kidney. He was in a breakaway and he crashed. But now he's my biggest supporter, one of my biggest supporters. Of course, my husband will be my number one. But he has always been a very, very close. We've been very, very close, and he's now living his dream through me, I believe. So it's very special.
It's very special, yeah.
But he got me into it, so.
Yeah. And you always, I can imagine, as the youngest, right? Always looking up to your big brothers and wanted to do what they were doing.
Yes,
so
every sport. He did rugby, I did touch rugby. He did tennis, I played tennis. He played soccer, but stopped very fast, and I stayed. I really, really liked soccer. Sometimes I wondered, I was like, oh, where would have I been if ever? And the staff of the men's team played soccer last year at camp. Yeah. And I was so wanting to get on that field. I was like, I will show them. I was so wanting, but I'll probably pull a muscle. But yeah, soccer was my parents would say I would never want to wake up for school. But if I had to wake up at 5 for soccer, I'm up and ready and I will ride my bike to the soccer field. And yeah, I was really...
Do you still play around with the ball once in a while?
So our friends with their kids, they have a ball and I will show them some tricks and whatever, but nothing crazy. Because I know if I can pull a muscle easily if I'm not used to doing that sort of thing. But every time I see a ball, I do want to kick it and I do want to play. I would love to play a game. And
I remember coming here, was the first time with the team, probably December 21, with the men's team. And those guys, they were playing there at the stadium here in Calpe. And the same thing also just looking at Remco. I mean, just see him. It was not even fair to put him in the team, you know, with his background from soccer, and you the same would be. But it would still be fun to see you guys in there, not ruining your, anything or pulling a muscle or anything.
Yeah, last year was a ref, so it was like keeping it low key.
Low key. Do you also like to go and watch soccer games? Or?
I've actually been to only one game, but I've never really been to, I mean, we don't have games in Mauritius, but I used to watch a lot on TV, but not anymore. Yeah, my love for it is I want to physically do it, but I don't watch it anymore. Yeah, I just have other interests and other priorities right now.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I have to recon the races and watch that rather.
Just wrapping up Mauritius, what is your favorite local meal when you're home?
That's hard.
That's hard.
That's like the racing calendar. It's like, that's really hard. There's a lot of nice food. So nice.
Give me your top 3 then.
You'll have to put the picture next to...
Okay, yes.
Wow, okay, top 3 would be bol renversé, upside down bowl, it's called.
Yeah, and that is?
It's like rice with veggies and an egg, but they put it in a bowl first. So they put the egg, then the veggies and the rice, and then they flip the bowl on the plate, and then they twist it, and it's like...
Wow, sounds delicious.
It's delicious. It's so good. That's why when I go there, I come back overweight. Yeah, there's a sauce, like it's like a bit of an Asian sauce type of thing. And then boiled noodles. Sounds weird, but it's so good with garlic. So it's really good. You'll have to come.
I have to come,
And then there's a snack food. So there's like something called dal puri. which is like a wrap thing. It's made of doll.
Yeah.
That is kill me now.
What's
It's so good.
It's almost lunchtime also here.
Yeah, you're making me hungry. So that's
But what is that? What's inside of that?
like
wrap?
anything. There's
okay.
the curry or like a Rougaix type of red sauce
Yeah.
thing, but the curry is really good. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like samosa, there's like faratas. There's so many, and it's so good. It's so good. So dangerous. So dangerous.
Oh man, I need to go and Google some of this now, and
Yeah.
I need to find time also come and visit.
Yes. I've told some of my teammates have been to Mauritius and they still want to go. And I said, when you go, I'll tell you what to eat. And you have to eat it from the street. Don't go to something fancy.
No.
You won't get the same quality. Like you have to get the guy that has long nails, that takes it with his nail, and it you have to have the whole experience. Like it's not the health, like it's dirty and stuff, but you have to do it.
Yeah, you have to eat it like the locals.
Yeah,
yeah.
you have to.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I
It's
tell you
delicious.
what.
My stomach's
Well, it's also time is way past of when I said that we will be finished with this thing here, and I think it's also lunch downstairs.
Yeah.
But Kim, it's been amazing to hear your story, and I got so many other questions here on my list here that I want to ask you, but I'm pretty sure we will have time in the future to catch up. And I wish you all the best for the season.
Thank you.
And looking forward to see you again. And thanks for taking the time for this interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was fun.
Thank you. Let's go downstairs and get some food.
Yes, can't wait.